Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Like I told you guys, this episode is going to be about this 300ZX right here. It has been a while since I made a video on it, mainly because I was missing some parts. I had to find those parts, install them. It's just a long process. Had to check all the vacuum lines, redo all the vacuum lines, and if you guys don't know much about these cars, the vacuum lines are a big pain in the ass. There's a lot of vacuum lines from the factory on these. Since I wasn't the one that cut all the lines and took them all off, I had to pretty much go back and try to find the vacuum lines or find how the routing is. Now the problem is this is a modified car. A lot of the stuff has been deleted, which is common for these cars. And when you go to reassemble it, it's kind of hard because I had to look at the stock vacuum line diagram and the aftermarket ones, to see what people delete, to try to see what this car has and what it doesn't have, what's been deleted, what doesn't, because I'm just trying to get it running back to see how it drives. So anyway, I did do all that. As you guys could see, everything is assembled. All the pipes are on, the under the headlight pipes, the intake is back on, the intercoolers, everything's back on. I don't have the headlights on right now, there's no need for it. I did put some water in the radiator, so should be good on that, at least for the drive. I like to put water in the radiator for the first fill. That way, if there's any leaks or anything, I see it and it doesn't make a mess. I'm not losing coolant somewhere and smelling like shit. So I always put water in. If there are no leaks, I'll go back in and I'll drain it, put coolant in there. But main reason for today's episode is going to be the first drive I do in this car. I haven't driven it. I've started it. I know it idles. Before when I started, when I tried to rev it, it wouldn't go. It would just kind of misfire and backfire and stuff like that. But obviously, I didn't have any of the pressure system hooked up, the cooling system, the air filter. None of that was hooked up. So hopefully this fixes it. Just so you guys know, the car is running open turbos. There are no downpipes on here. So it is going to be extremely loud. I'm probably going to go drive it maybe for 5 minutes at most. It's going to smell like shit, I'm sure. It's going to be loud. On top of it, the gas gauge on the car is showing very low fuel, and I know it's old gas too, so I don't want to drive it too much. Don't want to risk anything. I am going to put some new fresh fuel in there after, but yeah, so let's go for a drive. Safety first. Did bring a battery with me just in case it dies, so I can jump it back. I got the brake light on, the ABS light on, the HICAS light on, but so far no check engine light or anything. That's a good sign. See, it's bogging a little bit, but I think that's from the open turbos and maybe the old fuel. Turbo sounds good. Or the turbos, I should say. It is very loud. My neighbors probably hate me. But it actually is running nice. The suspension feels decent. The brakes are not too spongy. I'm going to drive it a little bit, get it somewhat up to temp, and see if I'm getting any boost. I ran all those vacuum lines, just following a couple of guides. I have no idea if I hooked them up right, but I tried to hook them up to run wastegate boost. So we'll see. Definitely hit boost. tires. I think they're kind of low, but I'll turn around right now and go back. But she's definitely hitting boost, so that's a good sign. Temperature is good, we're up to temp. Oh yeah, this thing's awesome. A little bit over the road. I'm sure the tires are deflated and they can probably use an alignment. It's actually running very good. It's not overheating. Engine sounds very good. Exhaust is obviously loud, but I don't know how much boost. I don't have a boost gauge. That's quarter throttle, and it definitely goes in a boost. Gas light just came on, so I'm definitely not going to drive it after this. Gonna put some fresh gas in there. That's also why I want to hammer on it. No idea how old the gas is, but it's staying in temperature. When I press the brake light does go on. Super pumped. This thing drives really good. I guess I hooked up the vacuum lines correctly. Woo! Shut it down. All right, I just got back from my drive and the Z drove amazing. I'm super happy with how it runs. Everything looks good on the car. I don't notice any leaks underneath. You know, it drove good. Obviously you have to look over the brake light, all that's minor stuff, but engine-wise, transmission-wise, it runs and drives great. It hits some boost. Once I get fresh fuel in there, I'm going to really look into it. But the one thing that I don't like about what I see is I actually found some hidden damage. So, don't know if you guys can tell, but that radiator is not sitting straight. It sits properly here, but over here, I couldn't even put this bracket on because you can see it sits way higher on the left side. It's about half an inch too high on this side. And there's a little ding in the radiator support. Don't know if you're going to catch it, but it's right here. There's a ding. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but it might be that someone, you know, drove over something, dinged the bottom of the support, and shifted the radiator support a little bit on the left side. So I am going to have to take a look at that, maybe go to a body shop or frame shop, see if, you know, see why it's sitting a little bit higher on this side. Everything lines up, the hood, fenders, and all that, but I do want to know why the radiator is sitting a little higher. So depending on what they say, what I'm going to see when I research this, then I'm going to determine if I really want to clean up this car, repaint it, redo the inside, or what I should do with it. But I am super happy. It runs great. It drives great. Engine sounded badass. It does have a little trouble starting, but the battery is really weak, and I always have to jump it. So I could put a new battery in there, and like I said, fresh fuel might help a lot because it might be a little gelled up in the lines. So it might not be getting that starting fuel pressure, but I'm stoked. Check back in. I don't know the next video, if it's going to be on the Z, probably not. If it's going to be in the MR2 or on something else. You know, might do a review on a car again. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.